الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الله فالق الحب والنوى يخرج الحي من الميت ومخرج الميت من الحي ذلكم الله فأنى تؤفكون فالق الإصباح وجعل الليل سكنا والشمس والقمر حسبانا ذلك تقدير العزيز الحكيم وهو الذي جعل لكم النجوم لتهتدوا بها في ظلمات البر والبحر قد فصلنا الآيات لقوم يعلمون وهو الذي أنشأكم من نفس واحدة فمستقر ومستودع قد فصلنا الآيات لقوم يفقهون صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين إن الله فالق الحب والنوى. This is the 95th ayah of Surah Al-An'am. In the previous ayat, there has been a discussion going on with the mushrikeen, and here as well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the previous ayat that we read, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, مَا قَدَرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ. These people have not recognized Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or given value to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the way Allah deserves to be valued or recognized or understood and respected. So, مَا قَدَرُ اللَّهِ, basically it means that they have not done any of it. Nobody can fulfill the right of the respect of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the recognition or ma'rifah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but these people haven't done any of it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here in these ayat that we are going to read, repeatedly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to count His signs of authority and wisdom and control one after another to give some recognition of Himself. Inna Allah faliqul habbi wan nawa. The first thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning here in this ayah is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who splits. Faliq means splitter. He is the splitter of habbi wan nawa. Hab basically means grain. Wan nawa, the date stone that comes out sprouting. So that sprouts from the earth. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that does it. If these people claim that the sun and the moon and the stars can be gods, then why don't they ponder over this small tiny seed that goes in the earth and splits out and breaks out from the strong surface of the earth? In fact, none of these have an authority of their own, just like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala controls the sun and the moon and the stars and their light and their timings. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who also brings out the seed. You look at the seed, it's very dry, but you put it in the ground, there is no apparent means for it to grow into such a huge tree with fresh leaves and become a source of vegetation and fruit and shelter for others, such a tiny helpless seed. But that is the qudrah, that is the authority, and that is the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna Allah faliqul habbi wan nawa. Then yukhrijul hayya min al-mayyiti wa mukhrijul mayyiti min al-hayy. Another thing that you don't think about is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings out living from the dead, which is, there's several examples. Some examples that the Mufassirin have quoted is that an egg is non-living and that comes out from a living being. Similarly, the sperm. Wa mukhrijul mayyiti min al-hayy. So hayya min al-mayyit would mean that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings out from a seemingly non-living egg, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings forth a living being. Hayy min al-mayyit. Wa mukhrijul mayyiti min al-hayy, and a dead from the living, which is, the example is that an egg or a sperm comes out from a living being. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who is all powerful. Dhalikumullah, this is your Allah. Dhalikumullah, that is Allah. فَأَنَّا تُؤْفَكُونَ. So where are you running away, or where are you running away or turning away? Why are you being turned away, or to which direction you are being turned away? By your desires. Faliqul Isbah. Another thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who causes dawn to break. وَجَعَلَ اللَّيْلَ سَكَنًا. And He has made night a time for rest. And in this also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has great power and great wisdom. If you think about it, night time or darkness, medically it is also proven that it is a time which induces sleep and comfort for people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying by the words of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَجَعَلَ اللَّيْلَ سَكَنًا. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had not studied modern day science or biology or human science human physiology, but the Prophet ﷺ is telling these words of the Quran that وَجَعَلَ اللَّيْلَ سَكَنًا, night time is a time where peace and rest comes overtakes all of you. So ulama have done a discussion that had Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not done that, then how hard our life would have been. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by creating this day and night, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set a universal schedule for people. And not even the biggest government or consensus of governments could have done this to people, that they have made a schedule, a universal schedule for people, that at this time you are going to sleep and this time you are going to wake up, and this is the time for working and this is the time for sleeping. Because even if they did that, they would not have been able to induce sleep into individual people, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does. And therefore, for most people, even if they try to stay awake at night time, they cannot do it night after night. They might do it for a night or two, but then they have to fall asleep during the night. Similarly, sakana not only means that human beings go to sleep or human beings come to rest, but the whole world and all the things of the world come to rest at that time. So therefore the animals, most of them, they come at peace. And similarly the whole system kind of stops to give the human being a period of a time of rest. وَالشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرَ, and the sun and the moon, husbana, they have a specific set schedule that they are following, and for millions of years the sun has not changed its pattern. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made a system. Similarly, Hazrat ulama have said that just like the sun has a system of calculation and timing, Qamar also has it. So the moon also has it, and that should be used. In fact, in the Sharia of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, date is based on this lunar calendar. So in the present world, of course, when the system is generally based on the sun, it is permissible for Muslims to use it as needed, but to totally forget about the lunar system is a very despised thing. We should remember at least some of the key lunar months and have some sense of what the lunar month is, what the lunar date is going to be. And if you want to apply it, then there's countries that have applied it. For example, in Saudi Arabia, the whole system is based on the lunar system. All the months are Rajab, Shaban, and there's no concept of January, February, and their system is running fine. ذَلِكَ تَقْدِيرُ الْعَزِيزِ الْعَلِيمِ. This is how this is a measure. Taqdeer is a set measure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done it because He is Aziz and Alim. He is the all-powerful, has the perfect authority, Al-Alim, and the perfect knowledge. So in His perfect knowledge, His perfect wisdom, and His perfect authority, He has made these things according to a set pattern that nobody can change except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He has done it for human beings. وَهُوَ الَّذِي جَعَلَ لَكُمْ, and He is the one who has made for you, جَعَلَ لَكُمْ النُّجُومِ, stars, لِتَهْتَدُوا بِهَا فِي ظُلُمَاتِ الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ, that you can use them for guidance or finding your way, فِي ظُلُمَاتِ الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ, in the darknesses of the land and the sea, which is how human beings have been using it for a very long time. In the darkness, when there is no, even today, in today's world, when you're going out on the sea and you're going out in an open sea, and you cannot, if for some reason your compass stops functioning or you cannot trust it, then this is the way the captains of the ship find their direction, that they look for certain stars, and they know that this such and such stars comes in such and such direction. So they follow it, and then this is how they find their way. قَدْ فَصَّلْنَا الْآيَاتِ لِقَوْمٍ يَعْلَمُونَ. Allahu Akbar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that we have elaborated the science for people who know, which means that people who accept and who think about it. وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَنْشَأَكُم مِّن نَفْسٍ وَاحِدَةٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who has brought you forth, created you, أَنْشَأَكُم مِّن نَفْسٍ وَاحِدَةٍ, from one soul, which is the father of all humanity, Sayyidina Adam ala nabina alayhi salatu wasalam. فَمُسْتَقَرٌّ وَمُسْتَوْدَعٌ. Then He has set for you a place that is a permanent dwelling, وَمُسْتَوْدَعٌ, and a place where you are there for a short time. So this refers, according to most Mufassirin, it refers to this dunya is the place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is referring that you are here for a very short time. So the problem, as was mentioned in the previous ayat, is that the two key problems with the kuffar, the non-believers, the mushrikeen, are that they don't want to listen and they don't want to understand. They don't want to, with an open mind, they don't want to accept what is being, or at least without any biases, judge what is being presented to them. And the other thing is that they have no fear of the hereafter. They forgot about their death, and they've forgotten about who they have to stand before after they die. So all of those things, if these two problems were solved, that they recognized Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and pondered over the things that are around them, they would have come to the conclusion that there is someone who's controlling, and that someone is only one, a single being. And they would have, had they worried about their hereafter, then they would have then it would have become easy for them to give in to the command of the one who's controlling, and to accept the one who's controlling, rather than to give in to their short-lived desires. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that we have brought you forth from one nafs, one soul, فَمُسْتَقَرٌ وَمُسْتَوْدَعٌ. There is a place for you to dwell permanently, which is the hereafter, and this is mustawda, a place that you are going to be here for a very short time. So don't forget, don't lose sight of the fact that this world, whatever it contains, whatever your desires are, for which you are losing sight of the hereafter and the true deen, that is all short-lived and temporary. قَدْ فَصَّلْنَا الْآيَاتِ لِقَوْمٍ يَفْقَهُونَ. This is how we have elaborated the science for the people who understand. Again, this means that those people who listen with an ear free of bias. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from the people of Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among the special ones and the accepted ones. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Sallallahu ta'ala ala khayri khalqihi Sayyidina wa Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.